Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the long wait, and thank you for your patience. I do apologize. First of all, kasi dapat 7 p.m. tayo, but there had been a technical difficulty with device na naman, device issue. Anyway, I'm glad that I am here live with you. So, um, I think I'll be needing more of your help for those who are now watching. First of all, can you hear me po? If you can, please comment down below, or if you can share your heart reacts kung gusto nyo. Anything to notify me that you can listen to me well. Anything po? Rinig niyo po ba? Rinig niyo po kaya? Ayan, clear po kaya yung audio? Sige po, I'll wait po siguro for a comment or for a react. Medyo maano yung ilaw ngayon, no? Sana hindi naglalag kasi anyway. So, in today's episode, in day 2, welcome to Ace Day of Cat series day 2. 2. 2 lang. So, yesterday or last night, we talked about the basic information that you have to know, or basic information that you have to, I think, be informed about UP and the UP college admissions test. So, today, ang consideration naman natin, ang next topic natin will be what uh what scholarship grants or what scholarship financial aid programs will be made available to you or offered by the university or the state universities and college that you will be applying to, or some other external institutions, or private and public external institutions na pwede nating ma-applyan for the scholarships. Because uh, first, one thing yung pagpasok or pagpasa sa UP, for this matter, since is the UPCAT tayo, for UP lang ang pag-uusapan natin, passing the UPCAT. But it's another thing to maintain financial flow or money flow or security, na meron po tayong pang-enroll at meron tayong may makukuhanan or mahihingan ng tulong if ever hindi natin afford pa na full payments, or if kung meron bang mga bagay or meron bang mga batas na magbibigay sa atin ng privilege and or right to avail of some assistance or free education. So, ngayon po natin yan malalaman, and I hope that this second day will be informative to you, and like yesterday, and sana po maraming makapanood nito, and I hope you will share this to your friends and to your colleagues and colleagues. For those who will be taking the UPCAT, please share it to your classmates who would like to take part in this discussion. So if you will be having any comments within the presentation, please comment it down below, and then we will be reading it for our question and answers part later. So I hope you will have um you will enjoy while listening and while being informed about this critical factor to consider when you will be going to college. So, eto na po.
Day 2 topic. Specifically, we will be discussing about the updates on the state colleges or state universities and colleges scholarship grant and or financial aid programs, and as well as the available opportunities for incoming freshmen and undergraduate students. This will be of interest to you because there will be specifics, at least the basic information, kung ano yung mga pwede po ninyong ma-applyan before entering the university or while you are in the university. Please be minded also that the list here are mostly for incoming freshmen or freshman year, and some other cases or a few will be for upperclassmen, but the entirety mostly po talaga ay for the freshmen, para at least while you are preparing for the UPCAT, you will also be preparing for the requirements when you go to the university and seeking for financial aid. Lalo kung may exams, yung specific scholarship grants na a-applyan po ninyo. Now, before we proceed with that, these will be the updates. There will be 2 acts or 2 laws that will be cited that are relevant to having the fees, grants, and aids para po sa ating mga higher education level students. The first one will be the Scholar ng Bayan Act of 2014 or RA 10648, which is cited as an act providing scholarship grants to top graduates of all public high schools in state universities and colleges and appropriating funds therefore. So this has the aim to establish and maintain a financial assistance system that will be made available to deserving students, especially po dun sa mga underprivileged. So if you are belonging to the category that are based on the criteria of this act, then you may apply or you may avail of the scholarship program or grants or financial aids that are provided by this act. Another information that you will be using to understand this one, basic lang naman po ito, but if you need to read more about it, there are copies in the internet. Actually, I got this from lawfield.net. You may also check it out on their website. So, the grants or the benefits rather are subject to academic standards, application and admission policies, and such other reasonable rules and regulations of state universities and college or SUCs. So, depende rin po, ibig sabihin, depende sa mga papasukan na colleges, state colleges and universities, yung magiging way ng pag-a-apply siguro, system of application forms, etc. But there may be basic things that are common among those policies within and among the universities. So the coverage of this Scholar ng Bayan Act of 2014 will be all public high school students belonging to the top 10 of the graduating class. So kung may mga honor students po tayo na mga chikiting, na mga kids, or if you're a student trying to apply for if you're taking the UPCAT this year or the next year or some a few years after, kailangang mataas ang inyong grades and you belong to the top 10 of the graduating class, so that you will be how do you call this? You may be eligible to be part of the applicants who will be considered. And based on the guidelines and criteria set by the DepEd, yun po ang magiging batayan ng inyong pagiging top of the class. And then, that should be provided or with the condition that you meet the admission requirements of the SUC. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa for the case of UP, kailangang nakapasa na po kayo or nakapasa kayo sa admission test ng UP. And for other universities, there may be other requirements that you have to fulfill. So, again, admission requirements po ang isa sa mga basic requirements for you to have this. So, kailangan top of the class and kailangan nakapasa na or admitted or have met the admission requirements. And lastly, for this Scholar ng Bayan Act, I have to highlight the Section 7 of this act, which is the limitations of the program. The program is limited to the full amount of tuition and other school fees for the first year of college only. After po ng first year, meron tayong mga student financial assistance programs or scholarship programs of CHED or of the college or of the things that I'll be showing to you later na the students can apply for. So, basically, first year of college, yun po ang covered ng Scholar ng Bayan Act. And the next one will be the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act of 2017. This is cited in the U 2024 upcatonline.up.edu.ph website. I'd like to read the citation of this RA 10931. This is an act promoting universal access to quality tertiary education by providing for free tuition and other school fees in state universities and college, local universities and college, and state-run technical vocational institutions, establishing the tertiary education subsidy and student loan program, strengthening the unified student financial assistance system for tertiary education, and appropriating fund therefor. So, sa name pa lang or citation pa lang ng act po na ito, makikita natin na the tuition and other school fees may be covered. And then there should be or there will be university or college-run programs that will enable the students to avail of financial aid. Bakit po natin sinabi na may have the free tuition and other school fees? There are things that should be considered or will be considered when you are or when the students are under this Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act. I'll give you the general overview muna before I go to the next slide. The general overview, which is also existing now, if I'm not mistaken, starting when the time when the first graduates of K to 12 made it to college, the act already exists, or some other people also medyo parang interchange it with the Scholar ng Bayan Act. Scholar ng Bayan Act po kanina, di ba nabanggit natin, based as per law, or if my source is lawful naman, is reliable. If to the best of my knowledge, first year college po ang covered. But this can be for the whole duration of the degree program. So usually, ang nangyayari po ngayon, since the time na meron nga pong gumraduate na from senior high school, there have been times when the students are enrolling with free tuition, miscellaneous fees. We're not sure of that, but mostly yes. But lab fees also ata ay covered sa sa free. Ang babayaran ay yung ID and other, siguro mga other fees, like siguro library fee, mga ganon. And I'm not sure about the library fee, but that's an example only. Another consideration with that, ang nangyayari daw po ngayon based sa pag-uusap, sa nakausap ko na friend sa loob ng ng campus, mga estudyante ganyan, friends ganyan. Yung mga students po ay nakaka-avail ng free tuition still, as long as they are on time. Meaning, if their course is a 4-year degree, or if their degree is a 4-year course, they should graduate on time 4 years. Otherwise, yung susunod na semester or susunod na mga taon, kung extended man siya for some other reason or whatever reason that they may be having while they're in their university, basta after ng 4-year mark, 4-year college residency nila, they will have to pay for their tuition fee, miscellaneous fee, and all the other fees. So, meron naman pong mga financial aid programs that we will discuss. There will, based din dito, actually, I believe, based on my recollection, through this act and with the existing or previous previous hindi siya practice previous availability of tuition fee brackets or categories. Depende sa income ng household or depende sa income nyo po kung kayo ay nagtatrabaho at may ITR, yun ang pinresent nyo, kayong mga estudyante na may ITR na. Depende sa income nyo at ng household and or ng household or ng main, kumbaga parang main person of the household. Depende sa category ng Student Financial Assistance Division. May different brackets. Kung kayang magbayad kung may capacity to pay yung student at yung family ng student, merong chance na mas mataas ang babayaran nila per unit ng per unit ng subject or ng kung ano man yung subject na yon. So, meron din naman po na mas bababa, merong nakakakuha ng smallest amount ng tuition fee per unit. So, depende po yun, again, sa financial status and income ng running household. Now, going to the next slide, this act is declared that education is an inalienable right of all Filipinos, making the state take appropriate steps to make education at all levels accessible to all. So, this one is parang nagsasabi rin, according din sa Section 4, that free higher education in SUCs and LUCs ay available with provisions or conditions which I mentioned earlier. So, katulad nun, dapat yung bachelor's degree nila, certificate degree, or any comparable undergraduate degree nila ay dapat matapos nila on time. And then, provided also that they pass the entrance examination and other admission and retention requirements of SUCs and LUCs. Of course, dapat nakapasa kayo ng UPCAT. Provided also further that all SUCs and LUCs shall create a mechanism to enable students with the financial capacity to pay for their education in the SUC and LUC to voluntarily opt out of the tuition and other school fee subsidy or make contribution to the school. SUCs and LUCs must report the tuition payments and contributions collected from these students to CHED. And then finally, another condition is that the amount required to implement the free tuition and other school fees in SUCs and LUCs shall be determined by the respective governing boards of the state universities and college or local universities and college based on the projected number of enrollees for each academic year. So, itong mga to, yung mga sumunod na, depende na sa DBM, depende na sa National Expenditure Program, yung other details. If you want to view the whole act, it's still on lawfield.net. That's where I got this from. And the next one will be, I want to highlight also Section 6, the exceptions of free tertiary education. There are 3 exceptions. One is that the students who have already attained a bachelor's degree or comparable undergraduate degree from any institution, higher education institution, whether public or private. So, dapat hindi pa kayo nagkakaroon ng degree, hindi kayo magma-masters, dapat you are an undergraduate student. Next one is that students who fail to comply with the admission and retention policies of the SUC or LUC ay hindi pwede. So, kung hindi po kayo nakapasa halimbawa ng UPCAT or hindi kayo nakapag-submit ng specific requirements at a certain time period within the admission process, then you're not qualified or you're not qualified for the free tertiary education. And lastly, students who fail to complete their bachelor's degree or comparable undergraduate degree within a year after the period prescribed in their program. So, this one, yung sinasabi ko kanina, after 4-year mark, dun magbabayad. Dito, may leeway. Ang base sa act na ito, may leeway na 1 year. So, kung 4-year course, I think ang tanda ko nun hindi na ako magre-rely sa tanda ko. Kasi yung may same instance na 4 years, 1 sem ang extension bago ka magbayad. Meron din naman na pag 5 years ang course mo, 1 year extension. So, based on this na lang, the general rule is that you have to pay for your own tuition fees and other fees, or you have to get your own financial aid programs or apply for other financial aid programs kapag hindi pa po kayo nakaka-graduate within the time period or after 1 year after 1 year ng supposed graduation. So, just to share, I have an update actually about the number of years for each course. Ang ating engineering daw talaga ay lahat 4 years na. I'm not sure really with the AG-ENG, yun ang tinatanong pa. And then UPLB now has mechanical engineering, which is good. Kasi dati UP Diliman lang dito sa Luzon. And then agricultural chemistry is 5 years, while veterinary medicine here in UPLB is 6 years. So, yun yung mga bagay po na pwede nating i-consider while we seek for the appropriate scholarship programs that we want to apply for.
So if there are questions po siguro, you may type it below, type it sa comment section, and sana po merong medyo na-gets naman yung essence po siguro ng mga batas na ito at yung importance nito because it's basically the basis of how how the things are how scholarships are being provided and financial aids as well. Ang sinasabi po kasi, 'di ba kapag ang minsan let me just clarify siguro po the siguro on my just my 2 cents siguro. Kasi merong connotation or merong before may misunderstanding na kapag UP, scholar ng bayan ang tawag, 'di ba po? Scholar ng bayan. Which is true and scholar ng bayan para sa bayan, which is also true, still true. But there are things like this, yung na, mga narinig nyo kanina na bakit gano'n? Kung scholar pala kayo, bakit may kailangang bayaran? Bakit may kailangang mga tuition fee? The thing is that maraming asong nagtatahulan at bukod doon, there are different considerations as well. So the priority po ay the deserving students kung matataas ang grades nyo, lalo na din kung yung household income of your family, the income of your family or paying capacity of your family is within the category of those who will be considered for lesser tuition fee or no tuition fee at all. So, para na rin fair sa lahat kasi ang ano din, yun yung masasabi natin siguro equality din siguro ng chances or equal opportunities. Like you can enter the university, but if you and your family have the capacity to pay, so you may voluntarily opt to pay na lang siguro or if there are people who would like to mga angel investor nyo, kumbaga, or angel investor ng students who can afford, students whose families can afford paying the tuition. Siguro, paaral ni mama o paaral ni papa, mga ganun. Um, but still, as per law, there are equal opportunities for scholarships or for waiving of tuition fees. And so yun, to clarify lang, it's more on the subsidy kasi uh, UP pa rin po talaga ang isa sa mga may pinakamurang tuition fee sa buong bansa. And I'm not sure with the prices of other LUCs or SUCs, but considering and uh, comparing the tuition fee kahit magbayad, even the highest amount of tuition fee per unit is way lower than that of the other universities and colleges here in the country. So without further ado, I'll show you the scholarship list and financial aid programs that you may apply to, and there are certain conditions and provisions depende sa kung ano yung hinihingi nila at ina-allow nila. So please take note of these ones. If you may you may actually request for a list of this if you would like, but then later you may send your request via our Facebook page or our contact information. So I'll give you the list and I hope you can see it now.
The specific information, no, specific programs na cited, but there may be things that you want to explore on if these categories or these programs do not meet um, any of your kagustuhan or of your availability or of the requirements. Okay. So the first one is, this one is cited also in the UPCAT website, scholarship grants and financial aid. The first one is Grants in Aid Program or GAP. The description of this one is to reduce, this aims to reduce cost paid by the students on enrollment in the form of subsidized portion enrollment fee. So, based po ito sa household paying capacity. So, katulad nung kaninang nabanggit natin, depende sa amount, income, or sorry about the dogs. Income or paying capacity ng family. And it's also found in Section 3U of the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act. So, you have to be a bona fide UP student or dapat nakapasa na kayo ng UPCAT and have enrolled already. So, you have to please seek for details about the relevant information depende po sa additional from the relevant department of the campus student affairs office or offices. And then, tuition and other fees. May subsidy on tuition fee, meron po. Some instances may grant additional subsidy to waive the miscellaneous fees. Allowance naman may grant cash allowance, but it's not always the case. You may have to check depende kung qualified po kayo. And then, do they defer cash payments or naglo-loan ba sila? Nagpapaloan ba sila for a time period? There's no data on that. Conditions, you should meet the requirements of the said program. Next one is the tertiary education subsidy or TES. It is managed by the UNIFAST or Unified Financial Assistance System for Tertiary Education. It is cited also under Section 7 of the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act. You have to be a UP student or have passed state universities and college and met the certain admission requirements, and you should be belonging to low, or the students should be belonging to low income families. Yun ang criteria nila for consideration. Subsidy, there is a subsidy, but there's no specific data on that yet. You may have to ask the Office of Student Affairs for it. Cash allowance will be available for 1 academic year lang. And no data on loans kung meron. Pero kung subsidy naman po ito, I think there's no loan available for that. You should meet the TES requirement of the UNIFAST. Now, we have kaagapay sa pag-aaral ng Scholar ng Bayan. I'm not sure if this is still available. During the pandemic, this is very much widely promoted, lalo for the donors, because this is a donation-driven effort, especially for the remote and online learning. So, hindi naman po lahat before kayang magkaroon ng computer or laptop or tablets or whatever needed technical and internet connectivity requirements for the online learning. So, the beneficiaries of this will be the UP students who cannot afford the technology and tools for remote and online learning. The desktop computers and our laptop and internet connectivity are provided. No money or no data if there will be money involved to be provided. And then, there's also what we call UP Presidential Leadership Grant. This is a scholarship grant for students with exemplary leadership skills or the potential ay nakikita dun sa estudyante. This is also the consolidated data are also from consolidated data are from the UPCAT website and the osa.upm.edu.ph. So you should the beneficiary will be a UP student, or the one who can apply should be a UP student and must have potential for leadership. So, kailangan may mga service requirement yan, student leadership, ganyan. At merong GWA or GWA or General Weighted Average of at least 2.75 in your undergraduate year with no unremoved grade of incomplete. Ibig sabihin, basta wala kang incomplete na grade or wala kang 4.0 na grade. And you must have not been subjected to disciplinary action worse than 5-year suspension. So, ang essence lang ng sinasabi dito, student leader ka, kapag student leader ka at estudyante ka ng UP, you have the chance to have scholarship, pero dapat you have to be a student muna, a good and exemplary student muna, bago maging bago yung pagiging leader. Parang kaya nga nauna di ba yung student leadership. At input ko lang naman yun ang aking kasi part siya ng requirement talaga. Paano, parang it's not really a requirement, but it's a good thing, or it's an honorary thing for you to be acknowledged as a UP Presidential Leadership Grant awardee if you also have good grades. So you will avail of free tuition, miscellaneous and lab fees. You may also have a monthly stipend of 2,000 pesos and book allowance of the same amount per semester. And of course, given na to scholarship grant, wala naman pong loan dito. Students must enroll. Ang conditions dito, halos kapareho lang kanina. Students must enroll with prescribed normal load. So, halimbawa, per semester, you are advised to have 18 units minimum up to 20 or 21 units. Ganong units ang kailangan nyo pong i-enroll, academic units, and you must pass all academic subjects every semester with the said GWA and no incomplete status dapat. And you are allowed to take any UP degree course, and the duration will be the normal length required to finish your course. Kung halimbawa 4 years, pwedeng may leeway na plus 1 year pa. Now, the next one will be the UP Tuition Loan Program or the Student Loan Board for some other campuses. In UPLB, that's what we call that. It's a short-term loan per semester handled by the Student Financial Aid Division of the respective Office of the Student Affairs or Office of Scholarship and Grants for each campus or of each campus. So, iba-iba kasi yung tawag ng mga campuses dyan, but you have to check kung anong relevant office ang nag-handle ng mga grants and loans and scholarships like that. Mostly applicable po ito to tuition fee paying students and upperclassmen. You should have finalized the number of units on or before your application for this loan, and you must be willing to pay at least a minimum percentage allowable of the total tuition and miscellaneous fees. I remember before when I had the SLB, merong, although may scholarship naman ako noon, pero may time na nagbayad, kailangan ko ng loan. I think it was 25% or 15 to 30% for you to enroll, minimum. And then, syempre, it's not a scholarship grant, so it's really a tuition. So the deferment of payment is what is the deferment of payment is the benefit. So again, the initial percentage as payment for enrollment, full payment, plus percent interest, maliit lang naman, should be payable on or before, should be paid before or by the end of the semester. Kasi kapag nag-enroll kayo next semester at hindi bayad yun, hindi kayo makakapag-enroll. You have to clear it out first and you have to pay in full before you can enroll for the next semester. And you must have paid yeah, ayun, yun yung condition. You must have paid your loan before applying for another loan. Next is the College Alumni Association scholarship grants and or loans. This one is not at all a requirement for all colleges, but there may be associations, alumni associations, or college effort to provide grants or loans. Depende po sa kanila. So, this can be, if loan po ito, short term lang, kagaya ng SLB by semester. And it would depend, all the things there, all the things for scholarship and grants will depend or would depend on the grant or loan provider, which is the college or the alumni association or institution ng inyong college. Now, we have here outside UP, both are, sabihin na nating, ano naman, medyo public government offices din naman, but still it's an outside grant. We have the DOST Say Undergraduate Scholarship. We have two. One is Merit, one is RA 7687. So, the Merit Scholarship is under RA 2067 for students with high aptitude in science and math. So, the applicable or the students who can apply are students who passed the DOST National Qualifying Exam and are willing to pursue careers in the fields of science and technology. Do you have free tuition? Yes, but you may have certain conditions. Like me, before I was a Merit DOST scholar, there was only a percentage, I think, kami noon, may percentage lang ata sa tuition fee, but all the other fees, may stipend kami, parang miscellaneous lang, I forgot which is which, basta meron namang percentage na covered sa merit. And then, may monthly stipend kami, katulad ng RA, both DOST and then, merit and RA have monthly stipend, book allowance, and clothing allowance. And I remember, if this still applies, may one-way fare to your respective provinces. So, sagot nila yung pag-uwi mo parang once a year. As long as ma-avail mo to, as long as you do not have any failing grade, incomplete grade, or any dropped subject. So, if you're interested to get or to take this exam so that you can have the scholarship or qualify for this scholarship, please check with DOST. Now, another one, the second one will be the RA. This is a full tuition scholarship, I believe. Kasi this one is the Science and Technology Scholarship Act of 1994. Parang dedicated for talented and deserving students whose families' socioeconomic status does not exceed the set cut of values of certain indicators. So, students who pass the DOST exam and will pursue priority fields of study in STEM and science and math teaching are qualified for this. So, same conditions apply katulad dun sa merit. Now, we have OWA or the overseas, basta yung sa OFW. OWA, scholarships, and grants. We have 3 actually. I have to highlight this one first. The rest you may check on the OWA website. This is a scholarship for OFW dependents, which is specifically the Education for Development Scholarship Programs or EDSP. You may check it online at owa.gov.ph under scholarships for dependents. This one, bakit siya important for me to discuss? Because it has the same exam as the DOST. actually, you have to take the DOST National Qualifying Exam and pass it and be among the top 400 qualifiers for you to be able to get this scholarship. So you have to be grade 11 graduate or incoming grade 12 or currently enrolled as grade 12, not more than not more than 21 years old with general weighted average of 80% or higher, and you should belong again to the top 400 qualifiers of the DOST exam. You will have a maximum of 60,000 pesos allowance, tuition fee, basta yung 60,000 pesos na pera doon na grant sa'yo will be, you have to budget it for your tuition, book allowance, and whatever things that you have to pay for. But that is the maximum. Please check with OWA if that is still the case or if there are other considerations for the amount. Now, the condition, bukod dun sa dapat top 400 passer ka, kasama ka sa top 400 passer, is that you have to complete the degree within 4 to 5 years depending on the course. So, 4 to 5 years, and paulit-ulit po tayo dun. So, kung 4 years ka, 4 years, 5 years, 5 years. This one, I think, is stricter than the other grants or the other financial aid programs. I'm really not sure. Please check with OWA. The applicant is not a recipient of any OWA or other scholarship grant. So, kapag may OWA scholarship ka or may OWA grant, kahit alin po dito, hindi pwedeng kasali or hindi pwedeng sabay. So, kung OWA lang po. The next one is OFW Dependent Scholarship Program. Ito ay scholarship for qualified dependents of OFWs with monthly salary of not more than $600 and who shall enroll, currently enrolled or have been enrolled in any 4 or 5-year course or associate course in any college or university. Ibig sabihin, kunyari hindi po kayo nakapag-exam ng DOST exam or hindi kayo nakasama sa top 400, no worries, because if you have an OFW parent or you are a dependent of an OFW, and then the OFW parent or guardian has a salary na $600 or less, you may apply within the time period of your college degree. But please check again, yun lagi ang disclaimer ko, please check again with the institution, because what may be reflected on their websites, what may be reflected on the law or may have differences with the policies that are executed in the SUCs or LUCs. And qualification should be that incoming freshman ang dapat nandun, or you have to be single, grade 11 graduate, incoming grade 12 or currently enrolled as grade 12, not more than 21 years old. So erratum, to clarify, kung hindi kayo qualified dito sa first one, sa EDSP, you may apply for ODSP, pero hindi po yung sinabi ko na within the college pwede mag-apply. So, for freshmen din po ito. Now, this has a lower amount na tuition, na grant. That's 20,000 pesos per school year. Yun na siya, yung sa grant and sa allowance, yun na siya mismo. The applicant is not a recipient of any OWA or other scholarship grant. That's the condition. And then, meron naman po for the deceased OFW, And then if the dependent would like to apply, ang assistance po na ito ay dapat para sa school age dependent. Ang priority po ay yung eldest child or yung firstborn child. Pero kung hindi na school age yung dependent na eldest, the next sibling will be qualified. So, it will be varying depending on the educational level. So, pwedeng may pinakamababa, merong elementary at high school po nito. But for the tertiary, merong tuition fee subsidy or tuition fee allowance na 10,000 pesos and livelihood allowance of 15,000. But you should have good grades and the applicant is not a recipient of any other scholarship grant. Now, the donor-funded scholarship programs are programs that may vary depending on the donors. Pwedeng private or public. I remember before, may mga companies na nagsusponsor, halimbawa sa College of Agriculture, may mga fertilizer companies na nagbibigay ng ano yan, scholarship. Sa engineering, may mga engineering firms na nagbibigay din ng scholarship with certain conditions and agreement. Pwede kasi na halimbawa, kapag papaaralin nila kayo, pwedeng may return of service po yun sa kanila or you are employed sa kanila. Depende sa depende po talaga sa grant grant at program at depende sa donor. The applicants must apply through the relevant department of their campus's Office of Student Affairs or sa colleges ninyo. So, lastly, there are LGU scholarship grants. So, it can be for provincial, city, or municipal offices. And they are granting scholarships or cash allowance to qualified students. And the benefits may vary depending on LGU policies and resources siguro or kung ano man yung programs nila. So, if you have any questions, please type it down below or we may wait for 1 to 2 minutes po siguro for the questions to come in. And then, yeah, let's wait for the questions kung meron man po. Thank you.
While waiting for the questions to come in, I'd like to apologize po siguro for those na medyo nahihirapan sa maliit na font. For those na malabo din ng mata, I will put the link of this ano ba to, part ng website, ng Notion page ko. I'll just put it here on the comment section so that you can browse through it later if you have time. Or you may also share this with your family or friends, especially for those who are seeking for scholarship opportunities and for financial aid, or who are still worrying if they will pursue their college degree or pursue their um,
Doing with
oh, teka na. Sorry. Ah, bali yun. O, di ba, booking. Na-record ko siya para hindi ako nagkakamali online. Kasi medyo shy type po ako. So, going back, I'll just put the link down below so that you may view it at your own time. And please share it with your friends. And if you have any other scholarships that you know of, you may comment it here so that we can have a community of people who will be contributing also to the whole aspiring UPCAT aspiring UP students. And the information that we are discussing today are not only for the ones who will be taking this year's UPCAT, but it will be beneficial for those also who are parang considering which colleges or universities sila mag apply Now you know, halimbawa na there is a mandated, or there are laws that are giving the chance, or giving the state the mandate giving the state the opportunity to mandate and to execute the rights and privileges of students, especially ito nga yung sa tertiary education natin, and having free education, making it as a right now, as a now right now. It's a good thing that people should know about this, so that hindi naman sila ma-discourage na, ay, mahal ang tuition fee, I will not go to college, or I will not apply for a degree kasi hindi namin kakayanin. But if you have good grades naman, if you have good grades, if you are what do you call this? If you are part of the criteria that will, if not really good grades, kahit passing. Katulad doon sa passing. Sabi ni Mayor Vico, kahit passing, basta passing. Kahit 75, basta passing, pwedeng maging scholar. So, depende sa LGU. That's for the Pasig City. For your area, siguro, depende din. And depende rin sa papasukan nyo ng college or university. But please be reminded that the law mostly is the laws that were mentioned earlier are mostly followed by the public, general public, or the state universities and college. I am not sure, and I cannot say for sure, and I cannot say, or I cannot talk about private institutions or private universities and college, because they may have their own different policies. And since they are private, they can have their own institutionalized implementation of things there and around their constituents, or for their constituents. So I hope you learned more things today, and I think marami na naman shy type today. So please you may send your questions via our Facebook page, and the information of Red sPen are also found there. So you may either email us, message us through Facebook, or DM us in Instagram, or send us a message through mobile, Viber, or WhatsApp. And tomorrow there has been a slight, just a slight change, hindi naman change, pero addition, which will be of interest for those who are considering to enroll in UP-OU, or Open University. Yesterday, we discussed about that. For those of you who were with us yesterday, and you may remember that there was a portion there na may binanggit po tayo tungkol sa Open University, or the distance learning setup ng UP. Even before pa ng pandemic, eh meron na pong UP-OU. So, tomorrow, we will be talking about test preparations for the OPCAT, and as well as the input from someone who graduated from UP Open University. And bagong information para sa akin na I will share it with you also, hindi UPCAT ang tawag pala sa entrance exam admission test nila, or admission test nila. It's called UGAT, and we'll know more about that tomorrow. So thank you so much again for joining us today. And I hope you have a good evening. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And sana, I'm praying na wala ulit technical difficulty, so that I can be with you tomorrow at exactly 7 p.m. Thank you so much for your time and for your attention. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.